Afternoon, how are we all? Fresh back from holiday, so we've missed a week, but this week we are talking about unhelpful voices. What do we think of when we hear unhelpful voices? Are we thinking about the voices up here or other people? That is what we are going to be exploring today. But in the meantime, if you find this useful, if you would like to talk more about it, give us a comment, give us a reaction, tag a friend, or head over to my very own Facebook group, which is Weight Loss Motivation Wannabe Losers. It's absolutely free to join, free support, just trying to get a bit of a group mentality and support system over there. So please feel free to come over and join us. So, unhelpful voices. I'm going to start because we have covered previously about sabotaging thoughts. I'm going to just start off by talking about food pushers. Now, these can come in all different shapes and sizes. For example, someone that might be trying to sabotage your diet. It could be on purpose. It could be kind of accidental, best intentions at heart, that kind of thing. But this might come in the form of, oh, go on, treat yourself. It's a special occasion. You need to enjoy yourself, let your hair down. I suppose really you could think about someone that's not doing it to deliberately sabotage you. Might be your friends, they might be inviting you on a night out. Have a drink. You won't enjoy yourself if you don't have a drink. Come and eat. Go on, you deserve it. These people don't often think that they're sabotaging. They think they've got your best interests at heart, and you often feel like you're going to disappoint them if you don't break your diet. Sometimes I think we can be easily persuaded, but we need to really focus on how and why we're saying no, or not this time. Who are you doing this diet for? You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. What is the cost of your plan, of breaking your plan, versus the gain of not breaking it? It's really breaking that down and having strong core values, I suppose. You're reaffirming those beliefs, knowing your why, your reason for losing weight, your reason for doing this in the first place, and really holding on strong for that. There are also the people that want to see you fail. If you're like me, you feel like you've always been the fat one in the group. I'm not saying that this is true of any of my friends or family, but you might have it that, it makes someone feel bad if you're losing weight and they are not doing it. They might want to keep you, hold you back and keep you where you were. So you've really got to remember that it's not about anyone else. This journey is about yourself. It's about what you want, what you promised yourself, and what you want to get out of it. So first off, that's the first thing you need to do, is really be focused on yourself and what you want to achieve from this. How to say no. First of all, the whole come on, you can't enjoy yourself if you don't have a drink. Hello, I'm a really fun person with or without drink, so actually, yeah, I can go out and have a good time. Certainly when I am losing weight and I've got that extra bit of confidence, that really makes a difference for me. If I am going out, if drinking every weekend and putting that weight loss back, it's going to be longer before I feel confident in my own self without having a drink, if that makes sense. when I was first on plan, I'd lost nearly 5 stone. It was just coming up to Christmas, and I was really umming and ahhing. Oh, it's December, there's loads going on, I don't want to miss out. You get that FOMO, don't you? And I really was, I don't know what to do. I feel like I should go and have a drink and just let my hair down. And I decided not to in the end, but I decided to go, and I drank water the whole time. But I felt amazingly confident because I'd had that massive weight loss, and I just felt confident in my own skin. And actually, if I had thought, oh, you know, sod it, I'm just going to go out and have a drink and I'll eat and all this jazz, we know what comes with it. We know it's not just a drink and then, well, for many of us, it's not just a drink and then, you know, carry on. It leads to eating, it leads to hangover the next day, and the McDonald's and the Chinese takeaway all adds up. And then you look at you can weigh up the gain versus the cost, and you realise that actually I could have gone out and had a really good night just with my friends, because do you know what, I'm fun and my friends like me for who I am, so I can go and have a good time, and I can wake up the next day, feel good about myself and feel good in myself as well, like not hungover, not, you know, beating myself up. So how do we say no to these people? We've weighed up what the short-term gain is, what the long-term loss is. We've explained that we're still fun, but sometimes people just don't want to take no for an answer, especially here and in the here and now. So it's always best, it's something you'll hear me say again and again, to prepare and plan in advance. In your group of friends, you've generally got one person that's sort of banging that drum a little bit more. It's worth taking them aside and just saying, look, the reason I'm not doing this is blah blah blah. I'm happy with my decision. I'm happy in the choice I'm making. I've got this big night out coming up that, you know, I want to celebrate my 40th, for example. And I'm going to celebrate them, but up until then I really want to stay on track. You could suggest doing something else. We don't have to go out drinking. We could go bowling, cinema, outdoor, you know, inside golf. There's so many different things now you can do that don't involve drinking or eating. You can make other plans, but it might be that you're going to your mother-in-law's and you know she's going to push like that big old meal on you. You can say like, I'm really gutted, I'm going to miss out on your, you know, the full roast, but I really don't want to miss out. So is it okay if I have, you know, meat and vegetables, and, you know, throw in some compliments there, and, you know, try and work it so you're not feeling like you're disappointing other people. You do need to think about, who are you disappointing? If you are disappointing someone else, yeah, it's rubbish, but in the long run they get over that pretty quickly. You know, if you say that you're not coming to their birthday meal, or you'll meet them afterwards, and, you know, that kind of thing, initially they might be a little bit disappointed, but in the long run, if they're a good enough friend, and if they're family, they're gonna forgive you and move on. And you can always, like I say, make other suggestions. Why don't me and you do this? Or I'm going to arrange this for your birthday. It's just worth realising how the disappointment's going to play out for you as well as other people. You know, they'll get over it eventually. If you don't hit that target that you want to do, you know, how long are you going to be beating yourself up for it? It's okay to disappoint other people, because doing the opposite is going to disappoint you. So we need to stop putting ourselves first, is what I'm trying to say, really. So other voices, other unhelpful voices, I'm going to talk about that inner chimp, that naughty chimp on your shoulder that we, you know, previously we've said about naming and having that dialogue with them. You know, fear of missing out, I'll make up for it tomorrow, I'll start again tomorrow, oh, but I'm hungry, it's a special event. We need to break down why we're feeling like this and what we can do about it. You know, we've got to tell ourselves we've made this choice. No one's forced us to go on a diet. We've made this choice, and it's important to me to address these this chimp, this, you know, inner Barbara that's telling us, you know, we should treat ourselves. We need to start correcting what we're telling ourselves. I've always had a thing about chocolate's my trigger. Once I have some chocolate, I then, you know, can't stop myself. Once I start telling myself it's not my trigger, that's just what I've been telling myself. Because if I tell myself it's my trigger and that's what happens every time I eat chocolate, of course that's what's going to happen. But if I tell myself, no, that isn't my trigger, that isn't what's happening here, it's my brain trying to tell myself, it's almost tricking myself into thinking incorrectly. So I can tell myself, no, it's not a trigger. No, it's not something that I have to do every time I have a little taste of chocolate. And practice it as well. Like, give yourself some credit. Like, you are in charge. You can talk back to this voice. It might be that you think you can't resist the cravings. Of course you can. You just need to practice it and tell yourself that you can. Your brain almost like tries to stop to fool you into, this is what we do when we go to the pub. We have a drink. You can't go to the pub and not have a drink. But of course you can. Been to the pub loads of times and just had water. It's, you know, we need to change the way we're thinking and the way we're allowing ourselves to think, and allowing ourselves to make excuses. The biggest thing for me, I've just set it as my phone lock screen, no choice. There's no choice. If I've told my brain already, there's no choice. There's no choice for me to tell myself, oh, well, you've had a bit of chocolate today, so you're gonna have to keep going. It's not the case. We need to flip those negative thoughts. For example, when I'm in that situation, I just can't help myself, I have it. Let's flip that to, isn't it great that I don't feel compelled to eat just because I'm at the pub, or drink just because I'm at the pub? Isn't it great that I can control myself around food, that I'm doing what I need to do to get to my goals? Isn't it great? If you think that you're going to be in a situation where your, you know, inner chimp is going to start scratching its way to the surface, make yourself a prompt, like a visual prompt. Get some prompt cards or write a note on your phone, and don't just read it when you're struggling. Read it every day, like read it often, just so you're really ingraining that when you go to the pub, you don't need to have a beer, you know, that kind of thing. And it's not about needing a drink to enjoy yourself. Don't tell yourself you need a drink to enjoy yourself. Remind yourself that you're fun, that you can enjoy yourself, you can unwind without having a drink, you can get through stressful situations without eating. We tell ourselves when we're on our period we need to eat chocolate. Why are we telling ourselves this? Like, counter it. It's almost fake it till you make it, but tell yourselves that. The more you tell yourself things, the more it will be ingrained in you and the easier it will be. So tell yourselves, work out actually what's true. Is it true that I have to have chocolate when I'm on my period? Is it true that once I break my diet, I've got to go and sabotage the whole rest of my week? No, it's not. Really break down what is true and remind yourself of that, and tell your brain, and, you know, keep reaffirming that, and you will be able to tell yourself no. And of course, then once you're stronger in yourself, you can actually say that to other people as well. So, no choice. And really, what is the big deal? If, you know, what is the big deal of missing a night out or coming on a night out and just not drinking? What's the big deal? You know, you can do it. You are fun. Remembering that you don't need a drink, you don't need to do this. You know, what is the realistic outcome? You reach your goals and you feel amazing, or you have that one night where you absolutely blow it and it sabotages your whole week. You know, look at the realistic outcome of that, and remind yourselves of what the realistic outcome is and what you actually want. So we're running out of time now. So just to recap, we have talked about food pushers and how to say no to them. What is the big deal? You know, they might feel a slight disappointment, but that is going to be nothing towards the disappointment that you are going to feel if you don't say no. We've also looked at that inner chimp, that, you know, it's ourselves, isn't it? Our mind's telling us, you know, what we think it wants to believe, but you know, it's combating that, working out what is the realistic outcome and what is, you know, what we actually want, and changing how we think about things, not allowing our brains to overpower and sabotage us, really. Remembering that little phrase, no choice. We've given ourselves, there's not a choice in the situation. I'm not going to do it. I'm not breaking plan. So yeah, just being prepared, really. I have run over, so I'm just going to say now, please leave me a comment if you've resonated with anything that I've said today. If you want to add anything to what I've said today, please leave me a comment. I'm going to share this now to the IGTV if you want to watch it back. Tag someone if you think it could be useful to them, and obviously head over to my group on Facebook, which is Wannabe Losers Weight Loss Motivation. I'd love to support you, help you, and hear your stories. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you soon. Next week's live is going to be announced on my stories later because I can't quite remember what it was. But yes, I will see you same time, same place next week. Take care.